On March 3, 1994, John Candy was going through a scene of crashing through tables. They had to shoot the scene several times and everyone, including John, was exhausted from the 80-plus degree heat that day. At about 10 that evening, Candy would complete his work and finally return to his 3,000-a-night room at Camino del Perque. John would eat a nice spaghetti dinner, shower, change into his bathrobe and speak briefly with the night watchman. The exact words he had with the watchman were, "I'm so tired. All I want to do is go home and be with my family." John would have only 2 more scenes to shoot before he could return to California in a few days. At 8 the next morning, March 4, Candy's bodyguard Gustavi Populus called the star when he had not shown up. When there was no reply, he went into room 120 after knocking on the door for several minutes. When he opened the door, he found Candy lying half on, half off the bed. His body was in such a position to imply that he had tried to arise but had fallen back down. There were no signs of drugs or alcohol in the room. By 1 in the afternoon on March 4, the state of Durango medical examiner would arrive and determine that John had died between the hours of 5 and 7 in the morning. There would not be an autopsy at the request of John's wife, Rosemary Margaret Huber. Once the official investigation was over, last rites were administered and at 4 in the afternoon an ambulance would take John's body away. John Candy's funeral would be held on March 21, 1994, at St. Martin's of Tours Church in L.A. The church was near his home at 1630 Mandeville Canyon. Among those attending his funeral would be Jim Belushi, Bill Murray, Chevy Chase, Martin Short, Rick Moranis, Tom Hanks, Ed Harris, and director Harold Ramis. Candy's body would be interred at Holy Cross Cemetery in Culver City, California, in room 7, block 1 of the mausoleum. John's estate would be valued at around $20 million. Wagons East would be released posthumously in August of 1994 after John Candy had been digitally inserted into several of the final scenes that he had not yet shot. The film was a flop. John was 43 years old.